Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 2025 UC Riverside Staff Conference. We are thrilled that you're able to join us. We're going to give it a couple of minutes before we get started, simply because we know that moving over from the keynote session, sometimes it can take a couple of minutes for people to switch over. So we're going to wait a couple minutes before we jump into content. While we're waiting for our participants, quick couple of notes here. We are recording the session and it will be uploaded to the Staff Assembly YouTube channel after the conference. I'm pretty sure notifications will go out when that happens. The keynote presentations will be posted to the UCR LMS. So unfortunately, if you are joining us from another UC location, you will not be able to access those, but you will be able to access the breakout sessions via the YouTube channel. If you would like closed captions for the session, please click on the Show Closed Caption button at the bottom of your screen. So again, we'll get started in just a minute. We're going to make sure all of our settings are as they should be. Looks like our keynote is still going on. There might be a couple people still wrapping up over there. So we'll get started in just a couple of minutes. Again, thank you everyone for being here for our staff conference. And welcome to all of you who are joining us from another UC location. We are always thrilled to be able to open this up to our UC colleagues. That has not always been the case in the past. So that is a really cool feature we've been able to add in the last couple of years. So welcome if you're from another UC location. That's wonderful that you can join us today. Our numbers keep rising, and I kind of make sure everyone is getting welcomed as they come in. So again, welcome to our UCR staff conference and welcome to our session. My name is JoAnna Nunez. I am the senior EOD consultant and trainer in our employee organizational development department here in human resources at UC Riverside. And our session this morning is with JoAnna Van Brocklin. Often I call her my left and right brain sometimes. She is my colleague in employee organizational development. JoAnna has joined us from UC Davis, and we are thrilled that she came. Her passion is for developing staff at all levels to maximize personal effectiveness. With more than 10 years combined experience in HR, she's focused much of that time in talent management and development, where she created effective learning experiences in the areas of communication, customer service, employee engagement, mentoring, and manager and leadership development. JoAnna holds a master's degree in organizational learning and effectiveness and a bachelor's in human resources management. In addition, she's a SHRM certified professional, a Gallup certified strengths coach, and an Everything DISC certified practitioner, and an online training professional. She does a whole lot, along with keeping me sane. So welcome, JoAnna. And one last note real quick, as you have questions, comments, please go ahead and drop them in the chat. I'll be monitoring that. JoAnna's gonna try as well, but if you have questions, go ahead and put them in the chat and we will get those answered for you. And I give you JoAnna Van Brocklin.
Thank you so much, JoAnna, the other half of my brain. I completely agree with that statement. So thank you so much for being here and supporting me during the session. Welcome everyone from UC Riverside and our sister campuses throughout the University of California system. As JoAnna mentioned again, my name is JoAnna Van Brocklin. I am one of the trainers with UC Riverside's Employee and Organizational Development. Also related to this particular session, I am a Gallup certified strengths coach. So I am excited to introduce all of you, whether you know anything about CliftonStrengths or perhaps you know nothing at all about CliftonStrengths. This is going to be your introduction here. And ultimately, when we're talking about our talents and our strengths, really being able to discover and build on our greatest talents is a direct road to success in our careers, in our professional lives, and in our personal lives. So today you're going to have a chance to explore what your unique talents are and how you are currently using them at work and of course in your personal lives as well. So let me show you a roadmap for how we're going to get through the next 40 minutes or so. And I also want to give you an opportunity to practice some of the Zoom features that I will be taking advantage of during this session. So to get us started, I do want to ensure that we are all on the same playing field here when it comes to talking about talent. So we'll have an opportunity to define that as it is defined through Gallup. You'll also be able to explore those 5 clues to talents, giving you some great insight into what talents you have and what you're currently using in your work. And then, of course, being able to recognize how you're using your talents. So today, again, it's really less about what I am telling you, but more about your own personal reflection and insights. And hopefully what this is going to do is pique your interest into learning more about how you can be more intentional with applying your natural talents at work to achieve success. So let's move now to understanding the term talent as defined by Gallup. And before I give you Gallup's definition of talent, I want to invite you, first of all, open up your chat panel if you haven't already, and share with us in chat. What is your definition of talent? Great, thank you. Ability, aptitude, personal gifts, a skill that you have, communication, good. What we're good at, strengths, potential, innate abilities, skills, an area you excel in, great, wonderful, absolutely. All of these are well on track with the same way that Gallup defines talent. So here's what their definition is. And I really want you to pay attention to this as we go through this session because this will provide us that foundation for ensuring that as we are talking about and reflecting on our natural talents, we have the same baseline for what it is we're referring to. So Gallup defines talent as a naturally recurring pattern of thought, feeling, or behavior that can be productively applied. So our talents, they can describe us, they influence our choices, direct our actions. They can even help to explain why we are better at some things than others. And our talents can also help us filter the world around us. It gives us that lens through which we are able to see things in our everyday lives. So strength, as defined by Gallup, is what then becomes of our talents when we intentionally apply them to achieve success. And success then is, of course, the result or the outcome of investing in our talents. So I'm going to do something a little bit new with this year's staff conference. I am incorporating a tool called Pull Everywhere. Now, what I want you to do here is scan the QR code you see on my slide, and using your mobile device, you should be able to answer this question, and it is anonymous. You may see something pop up that says register or sign in. Go ahead and click where it says skip for now. You do not need to register. Just hit skip for now, and it's going to take you directly into this poll. And what I want you to do, type as many things as you possibly can think of to your response for this question. What is one positive word that other people might use to describe you? What is one positive word other people might use to describe you? Thank you, Shauna, for putting that link in the chat as well. You can use your browser to do this as well. Thank you. All right, seeing responses come in already. So fearless, compassionate, smart, motivated, organized, joyful. These are fabulous. Funny, good. Innovative, helpful, and definitely I encourage you to use the chat if you prefer that as well. That works just as good. Giving, innovative, another funny here, assertive, reliable, good. Persistent, humble, adventurous. This is fantastic. Thorough, wonderful. Yes, hardworking. Detailed, I love this. So keep your results and your responses coming in through this poll. Here's what I love about this. When we think about, and this takes me back to our keynote speaker from this morning, some of you may have been in that session, but there was a statement there where it says, you can't read the label if you're inside the jar. So thinking in terms of how other people might describe you in a positive way, this can give you some really great insight or clues around what your natural talents are, what you are bringing to work every single day, how you are positively contributing. And this is powerful because when we are using our talents, they are so innate in how we operate. We tend to forget or not even acknowledge or recognize that we are using our talents in this way. So I love this reflective activity to give you some great insight and hopefully boost your confidence, if nothing else, in recognizing and acknowledging what you are currently doing that is impacting others in a positive way as well. So great work, everyone. We're going to continue moving forward here, and I love seeing all of your responses. So when I'm talking about CliftonStrengths, I want to share a little bit about the research behind CliftonStrengths and where this comes from. So Don Clifton is fondly referred to as the father of CliftonStrengths. And as a positive psychologist, his research was focused on this question that you see here. What would happen when we think about what is right with people rather than fixating on what's wrong with them? So there were many great discoveries uncovered in decades of research from Don Clifton, and many of those outcomes or those discoveries still ring true today. But a couple I want to focus or highlight for you is that, first of all, he recognized that each and every one of us has unique, enduring talents. And secondly, that our greatest room for growth is actually within those areas of strength. Now, in addition to this, the research revealed several great opportunities for us to apply this in the organization and in our professional lives. So the key to personal development is really to fully understand how we can apply our greatest talents and strengths in our everyday lives. And with decades, 80 years of research that Gallup has studied human nature and behavior, here's what they came up with. People who focus on using their strengths are 3 times as likely to report having an excellent quality of life. And people who are focusing on using their strengths are 6 times as likely to be more engaged in their jobs. This is important. This is impactful. And we want to make sure in the organization and in the work that we're doing that we have an opportunity to use our talents every single day because we achieve great income or outcomes from that. In addition, from an individual's perspective, there's many benefits gained from working in the strengths zone, including what you're seeing here. You can achieve more on a daily basis. You look forward to going to work. You have more positive than negative interactions with coworkers and so on. So many great benefits. Now, of course, beyond the world of work, for the individual, there's additional compelling reasons for us to understand, to appreciate, and to intentionally apply our natural talents. Because in doing so, we improve our confidence, our sense of direction, our hope, and our kindness toward others. So many benefits for individuals. Now, the question next becomes, well, what is gained from working in an environment that promotes strengths from a team's perspective? So research again, time and time again, the research is supporting the importance of focusing on our talents. And here's what they found, that people who learn to use their strengths every single day have 7.8% greater productivity. So we see a rise in the productivity as part of a team. We also are seeing teams that receive strengths feedback have 8.9% greater profitability. So the next question then, what can we conclude? What is this telling us overall? Interestingly enough, as I thought I was done with today's presentation yesterday, I was scrolling through LinkedIn and found this that Gallup, CliftonStrengths actually posted on LinkedIn just yesterday. So when we're thinking about the impact of using our talents and our strengths in a team, here's what they're sharing. Gallup, they're often asked, well, which of our Clifton strengths are most important for building strong teams? And here's what the research tells us, that team's success isn't about having the right strengths. It's about how well team members, individuals, understand and apply each other's strengths, everyone's who are on the team. So saying this another way, when teams have strength feedback, we actually know how to be a team. We know how to tap into each other's talents. And the result of that is increased productivity, increased profitability, and increased performance. Now, I think there's additional reasons why focusing on our talents helps individuals and teams perform. 3 reasons, in fact, that I want to share here with you. First of all, I believe that there's a strong connection between who people are and what they do best. Secondly, there's a strong connection between what people do best and how it makes them feel. And the last one is, I believe there's a strong connection between how people feel and how they perform. So I want to give us an opportunity here together to explore, once again, a little bit more in terms of how are our natural talents showing up in our everyday lives. So with this next group activity in the larger space here together, I want you to use the raise hand feature. And when I read this statement, if the statement resonates with you, go ahead and just click that raise hand feature. And I want you, as you are observing the rest of your peers and colleagues here in today's session, just think about, how is this making you feel when you're seeing others raise their hand at the same time? All right, so hopefully you've located that raise hand feature. Again, if the statement resonates with you, go ahead and raise your hand. And we are exploring how our natural talents show up in our everyday lives. So the first statement here, go ahead and raise your hand if you almost always talk to people in elevators, airplanes, grocery stores, wherever you may go. Oh my gosh, look at all those hands. Wow, you know what? I'll tell you what. These people can sometimes scare me, but guess what? This is such a great talent. And these are your people. They can easily meet new people and they know exactly what to say, it seems, all the time, no matter who they're interacting with. Yes, seeing someone in chat say, this drives my kids absolutely crazy. I know the feeling. I'm not one of these people, but my best friend is. And when she does this, I'm like, oh my gosh, are you sure you want to talk to that person? It seems like you know them. I'm not sure if you do, but she makes it look so easy. It's a great talent. And these are your people that really love connecting and pulling people together. So great. Go ahead and put your hands down. Let me share another statement for you. Okay, this next statement. Raise your hand if you almost always have a color-coded or otherwise organized closet. I'll go ahead and admit to that one. I like to organize my closet by short sleeves, long sleeves, pants, dresses, everything in between, sometimes colors. I like to include that in there. Yeah, another great talent and something that shows you that you have that really unique way of finding organization and structure in your everyday lives. Good. All right, raise or go ahead and lower your hands. Let's try another one here. Yeah, Raina thing. It makes it easier for me to get dressed. Absolutely. I feel the same way. I relate to that. Okay, next question here. Raise your hand if you almost always write down a list of things to do and stick to it, even on the weekend. Anybody here? Okay. Yes, this one gets a lot of responses. Now, I've been doing this for some time, and some of you might be like, kind of sounds like me, but kind of not. So you might be on the fence. Go ahead, lower your hands, and let me rephrase this slightly. Oh yeah, Lisa says, I love a checklist. Good. All right, so here's the next question for you. Raise your hand if you almost always write down a list of things to do, but don't stick to it. Does this sound like anyone here? Yeah, thought so. Okay. Guess what? A true talent. These are the people who can easily navigate and shift depending on what the priorities are in their work lives, right? So you might find it very easy, and for others, that's not such an easy thing. But guess what? This is a true natural talent. So well done. Okay, hands down, I think I have a couple more for you. All right, yeah, a couple of you saying in between on that. Good. So here's your next statement. Raise your hand if you almost always tend to ask a lot of questions. Anyone here? I find myself to be a bit inquisitive as well. Yeah. Always asking the questions. It reminds me when my kids were little. Why? 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 Yeah. I'm seeing some laughter here too. So good. Okay. Hands down. So these are the people that are always looking for a little bit more. They want to see the bigger picture. They want to make connections here, trying to get things pulled together before moving forward and making decisions. Could be very deliberate, right? All right, last statement for you. Go ahead and lower your hands. So last one. Raise your hand if you almost always push the elevator button just to remind it that you're there. Anybody here? This is all about presence, making sure perhaps that, you're being heard, or the other important pieces of information are being heard, that things are coming to light, making sure that we're bringing things to the open, right? Wonderful. Well, thank you for participating in this. Go ahead and lower your hands. Now, as I had you reflect, and perhaps you were noticing in the chat how many others were raising their hand for the same statements. Ask yourself, were you surprised when you raised your hand and other people did the same thing? And it's interesting when we do this activity because we tend to think of these behaviors as, maybe personality quirks or idiosyncrasies, but really they are clues and natural talents that we always do. Our natural talents, again, we can quickly apply these in our everyday lives. And for most of us, no one actually taught us how to behave in these ways. Our behaviors come so naturally to us that we can't even imagine having never done these things. And this is true of our natural talents. So again, every one of us here has natural talents. We all have a talent. And likely many talents. Not everyone, though, has transformed those talents into strengths. So our talents, when we think about them, they're a means to an end. They're not the end itself. They're quick, they're transformative, dynamic, and when we learn how to consciously seek and invent ways to apply our talents to the goals and the tasks that we have, to our everyday responsibilities, our ability to then perform with excellence increases substantially. So there's real power in authentically leading with who you are. Keep that in mind. Now, this does not mean that we want to ignore our weaknesses. That's not what we're saying, and that's really definitely not where I want you to focus. So tell me in chat here, what is your definition, or what is your thought around a weakness? What comes to mind for you? How would you define it? What are your thoughts about weaknesses? Go ahead and share in chat. Okay. Something that you don't enjoy doing that task or action. Failure. Someone saying a room for improvement. Keep working on it. Area for growth. Perhaps if it's a weakness, you get bored too easily. Something that's difficult for you to do. Yeah, something you have trouble with. It could be time management. So maybe you're identifying time management as a weakness. Okay, thank you. Getting focused on things, maybe forgetting about time. Something you avoid. Ooh, oh, feeling guilty. Yeah. So I want to help you perhaps shift your mindset, because all of us have weaknesses. Every single one of us, just as all of us has talent, we all also have weaknesses. Now, from a positive psychology, from a CliftonStrengths perspective, the weaknesses that we have, this is not where we want to spend our time. This is not what we want to focus on. Weaknesses, as defined by Gallup, is anything that gets in the way of success. A weakness is anything that gets in the way of success. Now, again, we want to be aware of our weaknesses and we want to manage them, but our greatest opportunities for growth, for development, for success, for us as individuals and within our teams is not in focusing on our weaknesses. It's in focusing on our strengths, our natural talents. That's where this mindset shift is. And as I'm facilitating workshops with CliftonStrengths, it takes a lot of work because it is a mindset shift. I feel like we are always, from being little kids, we're always highlighting where we're lacking, right? In grade school, oh, we didn't get the grades we wanted, or we're not as good on the sports teams with different talents or things that we're trying out. And while, of course, we want to encourage you to try anything that interests you and anything that you ultimately want to do, the point is we don't want to focus on that if it's not an area of natural talent. Instead, we want you to begin focusing on what your natural talents are and then do more of that. Create ways, create environments that allow us to do more of what we naturally do best, because that is our greatest opportunities for success. So good. I have another activity I want you to do that requires you to have a piece of paper and something to write with. So I'm hoping, and my apologies as I didn't mention this up front in our at the start of our session, but go ahead, locate, doesn't need to be a clean piece of paper, just something you can write on, a writing utensil. And I'm gonna do an activity here that's gonna help you to understand what it feels like to work with your natural talents. So give me a quick thumbs up or type in chat once you have located something to write with and a piece of paper. All right, seeing some responses here. Okay, good. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna reveal a sentence, a short phrase. And when I reveal this short phrase, I want you to write it down 3 times as best as you possibly can. Now, I'm gonna give you, I'm gonna just give you 1 minute to do this. Sounds very quick, right? But gosh, you're gonna do this as best you can. Write this statement 3 times. Here's the caveat to that. Before I put the pen down to the paper, take your writing utensil, put it in your non-dominant hand. This is the honor system here. I can't see you. So make sure you are using your non-dominant hand. Absolutely. So are we ready? Here's your statement. With your non-dominant hand, you are going to print. I use my talents every day. Print as best you can 3 times using your non-dominant hand. Shauna has a timer on the clock. Thank you for showing me that. I appreciate it. You are printing in your absolute best handwriting with your non-dominant hand. I use my talents every day. Bonus points, bragging rights for anyone who can complete that 3 times in the next 30 seconds. Do the best you can. I have about 20 seconds remaining here. Again, just do the best you can. You're printing. I use my talents every day. About 5 seconds remaining here. 3, 2, and 1. Thank you, Shauna. I love that. Okay. Interesting, right? Same piece of paper. Here's what I want you to do next. Take that pen or that writing utensil, put it in now your dominant hand. And I'm going to tell you the same thing. I want you to print in your best handwriting. I use my talents every day. I'm going to give you 1 minute on the clock again. In your best handwriting with your dominant hand this time. I use my talents every day. Print that statement 3 times. Go. With about 30 seconds remaining. I use my talents every day. Okay. Ah, seeing some insights here in chat already. I'm loving this. Okay, about 5 seconds remaining. I use my talents every day. All right, that is our time. Good. Okay, already seeing some insights come through, but I would love for you to share. Let's think about the first round when we used our non-dominant hand. Go ahead and share in chat. What was that like? Writing with your non-dominant hand. Good. All right, seeing hard, challenging, awkward, had to focus more, messy, it was slow, struggling, upsetting. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Angela's saying I can't even read it. Yeah, okay, saying challenging, but had to focus to keep it really neat. Yeah, thinking really hard. It felt restrictive. Yes, good. Okay, so now let's focus on round number 2, where you were able to use your more dominant hand. What was that like? Oh, look at that. It flowed. It was easy, smooth, simple, natural, comfortable. A breeze. It was familiar. I love this. Very easy and fast. Easy, all in one line. Good. Absolutely. So think about these two things together. When you're not using your talents, can we accomplish a task? Absolutely. We can sure do it. It's probably hard. It's not fun. It takes more energy and effort and focus. It doesn't feel good. It can be very frustrating when we are not using our natural talents. Now, on the other hand, what we saw with this activity, when we are in fact using our natural talents, when we are working in an environment where we are able to approach our work using our natural talents, it flows, it's easy. We find consistency in the outcomes. We maybe don't even have to think about it. It just comes naturally. And our output, right? We saw an increase in our productivity. So this just proves again the research that Gallup has with CliftonStrengths and the impact of using our talents every single day at work. So good. I hope you enjoyed that activity. So let's continue moving on, because I want to now give you an opportunity to really reflect on how you are applying and using your talents every single day. And I want you with this activity to focus on how you are approaching your work. So in the workplace, I'm dropping a PDF. It's a fillable PDF in chat for you. When you click on that, I think it'll ask you to save it to your desktop or just save it somewhere, maybe to your downloads, and then it will allow you to go ahead and open it. So let me explain what the 5 clues to talents are first before you do anything with this worksheet. So the 5 clues are yearning, rapid learning, flow, glimpses of excellence, and satisfaction. So with yearning, I want you to consider what activities are you naturally drawn to in your work. When you have a strong natural inclination or passion for certain activities or tasks, it can really be a clue that that is the thing that is related to a natural talent that you bring. With rapid learning, think about what kinds of activities do you seem to pick up quickly. With rapid learning, you find that you learn quickly and easily in areas that are related to your natural talents. With flow, during what activities do you seem to automatically know what steps need to be taken? What's coming up next? How to approach the work in a systemic process or in a way that makes sense. So this is all about effortless engagement when working on tasks. So think of times when you were in the zone and maybe you lost track of time because you were so enthralled in that activity. Glimpses of excellence. So during what activities have you had moments of subconscious excellence when you thought, wait, how did I do that? I just finished that. or that just got done and I don't even know how I did it. I just did it. So think about those kinds of activities at work. The final one here, satisfaction. This one is particularly important. So pay attention to what I'm about to say here, because we have lots of talents and things that we are likely good at, as described by these first four skills, or these first four clues, excuse me. However, if you don't experience joy, fulfillment, excitement, or satisfaction when doing those activities or tasks, it's likely not necessarily a talent as we describe it by Gallup. So think about what activities really give you that kick, either while you're doing them or immediately after you finish them, and you're like, when can I do this again? That was great. That was so fulfilling. Okay. So I want to give you some quiet time to fill out these 5 clues to talent for yourselves. I'm going to give you about, let's do 3 minutes here. I'm going to mute myself. JoAnna, maybe during this 3 minutes, if we pause the recording, that would be great. So, okay. So I know the 3 minutes goes by extremely quickly, especially as you're just starting to get into that reflection and activities on what you truly enjoy and how you're using your talents already at work. So I want to give you a moment to understand that as you are thinking about and reflecting in your current work environment, and just really ask yourself, how will applying my natural talents help me be more engaged, more productive, and overall, how will that impact my overall employee experience in my department, in my organization, or in the UC? So, okay, let's continue moving on. I just have a few slides left as we are about to round out our session. I want to share with you a short video about CliftonStrengths and what you can expect when taking the CliftonStrengths assessment to help you identify what your most innate natural talents are. You can see in my Zoom background, I'm sharing my top 10 CliftonStrengths. So this video is going to explore for you the full 34 report and give you some insight and ideas around what you can expect from the CliftonStrengths assessment. So I'm going to play about 1.5 minutes of this video, and then we're going to wrap things up. So enjoy.
Is zillion a real number? No, zillion's not a real number, but it is a word you might be tempted to use to describe all of the talents found in people. Creating a list of every talent is an impossible task. But if you step back, you'll see that talents have commonalities that allow us to group them into themes. Some talents, like a natural ability to share thoughts, create engaging stories, and find the perfect word, relate directly to communication. That's what they have in common, a shared theme based on communication. So to begin thinking and talking about them, we can call them communication talents. Your distinct CliftonStrengths 34 profile sets you apart from everyone else. Your CliftonStrengths 34 profile is your talent DNA in rank order based on your responses to the CliftonStrengths assessment. The CliftonStrengths at the top of your profile are the most powerful. Similar to your fingerprint, these themes represent how you are uniquely talented. There are nearly 34 million possible combinations of top 5 themes. You heard right, nearly 34 million. Start with your top.
Okay, I know I cut that off midway, but I know we are getting short on time. So wanted to make sure that I round out with just a few more notes here. For all of my UC Riverside colleagues, I wanted to share with you quickly that we offer a CliftonStrengths workshop here as open enrollment, and our next offering for this session is June 4th. So you can certainly scan this QR code that you see on my slide, and this will give you the opportunity to go ahead and register for this upcoming session. So with that, I want to say, first of all, thank you so much for joining my session. I truly enjoyed this. I hope, if nothing else, it's piqued your interest in how you can naturally apply your talents to achieve success at work. So thank you again, and I'm going to turn it over to JoAnna.
Thank you, JoAnna, as always. Wonderful job. I love the CliftonStrengths class. If you have not taken it yet, I highly, highly, highly recommend it because A, you get to have it with JoAnna, but B, it is an amazing class. So here are a couple of just wrap up things, some notes for the session, quick reminders. We are hoping to keep our conference 100% free for all of our staff to attend, and we could not do that without the support of our sponsors, who are UCR's Human Resources, Staff Assembly, Leaders of Excellence and Distinction, which is LEAD, and Schools First Federal Credit Union. So thank you so much to all the units that help keep our staff conference free. And that allows us to include and invite all of our participants from our sister campuses. So thank you so much for that. As a reminder, the conference breakout sessions will be uploaded to the UCR Staff Assembly's YouTube channel, except for the keynotes that will be done in the UCR Learning Center. Another couple quick reminders. Our in-person closing session is on Wednesday at 2 p.m. If you are planning on attending that, please make sure you RSVP. There is a link to do so on the conference website. And we have our lead nominations at UCR that are open for the executive board. So if you're interested in joining that executive board, please visit the lead website to do so. Staff assembly elections will be open on April 14th. So make sure you vote. They will be sending out communications around that very soon. For more information on that, you can visit the staff assembly website and get information on the elections. You can also sign up for the EOD newsletter. There's a link to do that on the UCR EOD website. And if you are a UCR staff member, you can sign up for the Franklin Covey All Access Pass, which JoAnna has a slide for up on the screen. Thank you. We're going to be raffling about 20 seats of this at the end of the conference for our UCR staff members. But if you would like to sign up outside of winning the raffle, just you pay $3.95 to get access to all of their online learning content and to our instructor-led Franklin Covey sessions. So you can sign up for that via the UC Learning Center. So again, thank you so much for joining us. We hope you enjoy the rest of the conference, and we hope to see you in another session. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for joining, everyone. Upcoming sessions here, 11 o'clock, my fabulous colleague, JoAnna Nunez, and a cohort or a group session as well with our department director. So hope to see you in future sessions, everyone. Thanks for joining us today.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.